Please welcome Claire Keeley.
Hello. Wow, welcome. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm thrilled you're here. I half expected the room to be empty. This isn't exactly a real crowd motivator all of the time as a topic. But this is my first Accelerate. I thought I knew what to expect. I had no idea. So for those of you that I met already, it's been great, and I hope to meet more of you as the conference goes on. So I am the lawyer for the Regulatory Intelligence, Safety, and Compliance team at Amazon, known as RISC. And basically what we do is we ensure the safety and the compliance of all the products that you are selling in our store. And we know that our program is often the source of confusion, frustration, dismay, and those might be the kindest things I can say about it. We know this because you tell us. We regularly get feedback, and we know that it is frustrating for you. So today, the whole point of this conversation that my colleague Sanjay and I will be having with you is to talk through the things that we've heard from you, share with you what we're doing about it. We're going to provide you some tips, some tricks. We'll share some new technologies that we are launching, and then we will go into and give you a sneak peek into the future of what we have in store. So, shout out for questions. On the screen is the QR code. Please, if you have any questions at any point today, including right now, go ahead and open your app and use your in-app QR code scanner and let us know how we can help you. We'll cover these questions at the end, and if there's anything that we don't cover, we'll be outside to answer more. All right, so let's get started. What is product safety and compliance, and why do we do it? Well, we do it because we want to ensure that the products that our customers buy are compliant with product-specific laws and that they're safe for them to buy and use. It's pretty straightforward. And so we do this by reading a lot, yes, but also we talk to regulators, we talk with trade associations, industry groups. We hear from customers when they've been injured by a product or there's reason to feel like it might not be safe, and you tell us. We get really rich information from all of you, and we hope to get more. So let's now go next into why does it matter to you and why does it matter to us? Fundamentally, the core of compliance is about building customer trust, and everything good comes from there. You build customer trust, you get great reviews. Happy customers like to talk about your products. You get more sales, and you build a stronger business. Next. So just to give you a sense of the program, how safety and compliance works at Amazon, we operate in 22 different stores around the world. We have more than 70,000 controls running at any given time. It's a lot. We have more than 1,500 help pages that are there to educate our seller community. Next. And just this year alone, just to kind of get a sense of the order of magnitude here, we have already impacted 150 million ASINs this year, and we have gotten more than 2 million contacts from sellers. You all aren't shy. So there are some ways in which you can actually navigate compliance, and these are probably obvious to you. I'll just rattle a few off. I already alluded to the help pages, but there are forums. We will email you and tell you what we're doing. You can go to webinars. We'll send notifications in your Seller Central dashboard. Next slide. And so even though we're doing all of that, we get it. It's not enough. And we know that we need to do better. So I'm going to walk through a handful of anecdotes that really kind of illustrate the nature of the complaints that we hear most often from you, from our sellers. Number one, we incorrectly identify perfectly compliant products as being non-compliant. In this anecdote, a seller of an acacia wood knife block was found to be a pesticide and was suppressed. And you can imagine just how frustrating that is. You deserve for us to be accurate in the way that we classify your products and identify whether they're compliant or not. The next anecdote. We often ask you for information that is publicly available or that we are fully capable of obtaining ourselves. And so this particular anecdote, the seller was trying to get this information from the brand, and they wouldn't provide it. So the seller's stuck in the middle, and that's just unacceptable. You deserve for us to expend the effort to try to identify what information we can get on your behalf. Now, the next anecdote, we don't even tell you before we take things down, and when we do, in this particular anecdote, this seller, it took 72 hours before we were able to re-enable their product. And some of you may be able to attest, it can sometimes take a lot longer than that. You deserve to have your products reinstated as soon as humanly possible. Maybe not even humanly possible. Shouldn't qualify it. Final anecdote I'll share. We've removed compliant listings because of a contribution from a different seller. So in this particular case, our favorite pesticides, we had someone add a claim to a t-shirt, and it rendered into a pesticide. And so we need to only take action against the seller who's responsible for the issue that's driving the non-compliance, not everybody else. So we take those all together, and I've teed this up for the good part. Please welcome my colleague to talk about how we're making compliance easier for all of you. Sanjay Charles.
Thanks, Claire. Good afternoon. I'm Sanjay Charles. I'm the leader for the Regulatory Intelligence, Safety, and Compliance team, or internally we call ourselves the RISC team. Our vision is to make it easy for you, our selling partners, to offer Earth's broadest selection of safe and compliant products to our customer. And I'm here with that vision in mind to talk about how we make it easy for y'all to navigate compliance, the ever-changing world of compliance. And I want to start with talking about how we make it easy for you to navigate compliance. We'll start with the table stakes. I want to acknowledge that we have, as Claire previously identified, we've impacted 150 million ASINs. Even if we get 99% of that right, that still means we got 1.5 million decisions wrong. And I acknowledge that's no small number. And that is why, over the last few years, we have actively been migrating from what we internally call as keyword-based rules. I've heard some selling partners lovingly call it keyword bots. And we are transitioning actively to more cutting-edge technology, using machine learning, computer vision, and more recently, the world of large language models and generative AI. Now, I recognize even with the best technology, we can get things wrong, which is why you want to bias to resolving issues as soon as possible. This year, our goal is to get to under 24 hours to be able to resolve your appeals. Now, we don't want to stop there. Getting decisions right is the bare minimum. Now, if we get things right, this means we reach out to y'all hundreds of millions of notifications, emails, asking you for information. And that's where I think our team has leverage to be able to help our selling partners. And so what you've started actively doing, starting last year, is we collect information from trusted sources on your behalf. So instead of asking y'all, in the US at least, for an EPID number, we extract that information directly from EPA's database, so we don't have to reach out to our selling partners asking for that information. So we've invested in 3 key areas here. First, imaging technology, that can extract information from images on the product detail page, documents that are publicly available, and images from our fulfillment network. And so instead of asking you for a logo or an address, we are able to now source this information directly from the public information that we have. Second, we have developed machine learning capabilities to extract information directly from regulatory databases. So instead of asking you for an ICID ID in Canada, we are able to extract that directly from ICID's database. And finally, something that we're just starting out with, but we're very excited about, is expanding on industry associations. So I'd like to share one specific example, especially since September is Baby Safety Month. We have partnered with the JPMA to extract compliance information directly from them so that we don't have to ask you, the selling partners, for that information. We've been able to pre-qualify close to 900 ASINs so far, and that is, as an estimate, helped save around 200 hours of selling partner effort. Now, I wish I could tell you we can act on your behalf all the time, but that's not practical. And there are times that we have to reach out to you, selling partners, to get information. And the idea here with advanced notification is we want to give you the opportunity to fix a violation before we take it down. And so we've started piloting this year, and we expect that majority of our policies will offer a path to remediate before we take the listings down. So the experience will be twofold. You'll get an email notification and also get a notification either in your account health dashboard or manager compliance dashboard. And as an example, you can see on your slide, in AHT, you'll be given the violation. You'll also be given the due date before which you have to submit information or make an appeal. And it also gives you the notification that says the listing is at risk of enforcement. This is a similar experience in MYC, where you get a due date and a path to both appeal and submit any information. Now, if all things fail, right, we typically bias towards taking the product down. And so we want to reduce the blast radius of doing that as well. We've got so many anecdotes, especially around pesticides. Why is my flip-flop considered a pesticide? Sellers can argue, while customers could use a flip-flop to keep pests away, it is not a pesticide, right? And so what we typically find is that other selling partners inadvertently add claims such as this flip-flop is treated with materials that can be antibacterial. It could be keeping fungi away, and so on. And these are well-intentioned selling partners who make the mistake of adding such claims. And such claims, at least in the US, need to be approved by the EPA. And so instead of taking the whole ASIN down, because again, in this example, the flip-flop is a legal product. And what we do here is we remove surgically just the offer making that claim. So that's what we do with targeted removals. And you can see the AHT experience here. This is the experience that the selling partner who has added the claim will get to see. All other selling partners will continue selling the product without any interruptions. Now, I've talked about what Amazon can do for you. And so I want to talk a little bit about what selling partners can proactively also, tips that they can take to keep things compliant. First, 1,500 policies, right? It's not easy to navigate. We don't expect all our selling partners to memorize all 1,500 policies. And so we want to help funnel you to the right policy so that you are, with confidence, able to list any product. So here's an example of a compliance reference tool. This is within MYC. It gives you the option of filtering by country, the type of product. And so you can get very surgical depending on the type of product you're looking to sell in a specific country. As an example here, you see children's sleepwear. This is the experience you'll see within MYC. It's broken down by the type of product, in this case, children's sleep product. And you see different requirements for different ages of children's sleepwear. You also can look at other compliance needs, anything around imports, exports, any storage and transportation needs. It's all within this one compliance reference tool within MYC. Now, this is probably the most common example of non-compliance, which is around claims being added inadvertently. I talked about the flip-flop. Then the other part is uploading poor images. So I want to leave a couple of tips on that front as well. If you think about it, any compliant product can be taken down by adding the wrong claim. And so we encourage you, if you have especially not gotten approvals from regulatory bodies like the EPA and the FDA, to stay away from claims that claim to treat diseases, things like prevents stroke, cures COVID, which is something that we saw quite a bit in the last few years, cures cancer, and then other claims that are not allowed if it's not being approved by a regulatory body. So stay away from highlighting antibacterial, keep fungi away, keeps mosquito away, and things like that. If these claims are approved by the EPA as an example, you are free to add them, and we will take that information directly from the EPA database. Now, with product images, I think this is pretty straightforward, but we continue to see selling partners struggle with this aspect. So when you submit images, please make sure that they're not blurry. They contain basic information like the manufacturer name, brand name, address if it's requested. Make sure that you don't submit any PO box information when asked for an address. And then make sure you're using images that are six-sided and not stock images, which is something we commonly see. Now, I've talked about things that we could do, things that selling partners can do, but I want to leave with really the thought that while I'm excited about the progress we have made, I truly believe the best days are ahead of us. And with that, I want to say we are doubling down on enabling compliance on your behalf. More regulators, more industry groups, more avenues for us to get information on your behalf. We are going to double down year after year so that you can do less to manage compliance. Next, you've heard me talk about AHT, you've heard me talk about MYC. We truly are trying to bias towards a singular one-stop shop so that when you have a product in mind, compliance becomes easy to manage through a single source of truth. Finally, we acknowledge that we are not going to get it right all the time. And so instead of the 24-hour resolution period, we will bias towards more of a 12-hour period as we go forward. I want to thank you for attending this session.